Okay, so in this tutorial, we've got our finished model, kind of. You can always make changes to it, but I'm going to show you how to actually set up sections, elevations, setting up your floor plans at different levels properly, and how to do 3D renders. Remembering that we can always use these drawings once they are actually set to scale to put onto posters, to advertise, to depict something. It really depends on the purpose that you're trying to go for. Okay, so this is where we start having a bit of a play with this area around here. You can see there's 3 sections. Project map. So project map actually shows us the different drawings. So ground floor, first floor, if we double click it takes us to the first floor. We will need to remove the roof when we do our floor plans, but we'll come to that later. Sections, elevations are all listed here. However, we've got to create them first. So we start in our floor plans. This is where we turn off the design tools and open up the document tools. All right, so there's lots of different things around here. I will dimension as well. So section, elevation. We don't really need drawing tools just yet. And I don't know where the dimension tool's gone. Sections, elevations. So I'll start with elevations. We need north, south, east and west. Obviously our north is at the top of the page. So I click once, click another time, and I need to now tell the mouse, do I want to look up or down? Obviously I want to look down towards the construction. So click again. Then you can see if you zoom in, it's opened up this. Now if I hover over it, so I'm not clicking, I'm just hovering the mouse over it, the ID says ID E05. If I open this up, scroll down, elevations, ID E05, double click, that will just load. Now the joy is that it actually does it for me. So it generates the elevation for you, showing materials, showing heights, showing everything that you need to know. I probably should have put a poll there, but I haven't yet. Okay, so this is our elevation. I think it looks pretty good. Now, what I need to do is I will set up my other drawing. So that'll be saved in there, that's done. So I'll scroll out, go back to the first floor plan. I mean, and this might even be, in the case of mine, I've looked at my elevation and I can see that I probably should have something supporting that top level. So this can be a stage where you actually go back as well and put that in, and I'll show you what happens. So ground floor, and you can see how with ground floor now it's showing me the top level. I'll go to design, column. I've got to make sure, that it is beautiful. I might make it a little thicker so it actually supports. Zoom in. Escape. I want to move this to the corner. I'd also like it to maybe be separated every 2 meters. I'm going to click on one of the nodes, go to multiply, spread 2000 for 2 meters. So you'll see when I click on that and I spread them across, spread them across straight, multiply 2 meters. All right, zoom out, zoom in. You got to make sure they're straight. So now I have them there. I'll copy and paste one more. so that I have enough. Now you'll see if we go to my elevations now, something crazy's happened. However, you can adjust all of this. You can adjust all of that actually on the drawing. So you can see now something's happened where it's a bit quirky, so I can actually stretch the height. I'm going to stretch it just below the floor line. Then I'm going to delete all of these. Slow process. Cool. Then I'll go back to my floor plan. I've only got one. So what I did, I actually put it at the corner of the roof. But because there's eaves, dash line, these are the eaves that hang over, it wasn't in line. Okay, so I'll pop it here. Then I will do my multiply every 2000. I'd actually be able to see it. All right, cool. So see how that's actually generating the picture to catch up? I haven't put them quite straight, but whatever. You get the picture. O for orbit. Zoom in. And you can see my kind of off-center support. But you can see that it's there. Okay. Now that I've selected my north elevation, I need to create the other ones. So I've selected elevation tool. Yep. Doing this side. So if I do it in here, it's just going to show the construction. If I do it back here, it'll show trees. At the moment, I don't think I want to see those trees too much. I want to see what's going on. So now you can see I hover over this, marker East 6. Open it up here, elevation 6. Cool. Very nice. So now I've got this elevation, and even though it's a flat drawing, you can see that gentle curve that I've got in the curved wall. So you do the same for southwest. You can actually rename these if you'd like. Rename elevation. I know that that's my east elevation, so I could leave it as EO6, but write east elevation, rename, so that when I open it, I know that that's east elevation. It might just be easiest for you. Now, section tool. So the section tool, it's like an elevation, but you're actually cutting through the building. And there's really no rules to this, it depends on what you want to be showing. I think I'd like to show in this section, in at least one of the sections, how the curved space here works, with the rectangular space here and the second level. So I might just go click, click, and look that way. Now, my markers are up here. Same thing, SO3. Now I look under my sections. So here it is here, section SO3. Awesome. Looking really good. Now you can see, if you did for some reason really want to show certain details, you can actually zoom in and show, connections between window frames. You can show, details of the way that the wall's made up. Okay, you can see our insulation in here. This brick, you've got the air gap and then plaster on the inside. Same with the roof. Okay, there's lots of different details you can show. But yeah, that's kind of enough for the moment. Another section, just so that I can show you again. I might go this way. this time, sorry, click, and it's fine. All right, this one here, so SO6. Here we go, double click. Beautiful, so now you've got a long space. Now the thing is, you can see in this section that you actually can't tell at all that I've got a curved space beyond this. So it is really important to show different angles of the building and different elevations so that you can actually understand the whole building. All right, one more thing I want to show you within this. When you're really happy with your design, you might want to get an angle, find what makes your house look really good. We're just going to leave it there for the moment. And you're going to do a 3D render. So a 3D render is kind of like the showpiece. So if you were showing a client, if you had a client and you needed to show them, well, this is what your dream home is going to look like, you are going to actually develop renders. So like you're rendering with pencil, you're making it look really, really, really good. And I've got to remember how to do it. All right, so document. So you have it up on the 3D screen at the shot that you would like. Going to creative imaging, photo rendering settings is what we want to do next. Now I'm just going to show you at a low level. Okay, so I've got it on low at the moment, but obviously the higher the level, the higher the resolution, and the more realistic it looks. It just takes a lot longer. I'm going to choose the background that I'd like. And you can even, customize a location. I'd love to be in Byron right now, so we'll pop it there. And that actually calculates the angle of the sun. And today's date. Okay. Lots of different things you can do here, but I encourage you to just trial it with the basic settings that they've got on there first. All right, then you click render. And this will start rendering for you, hopefully. Yeah, cool. I can close this. So I don't need to stay on this page while it's rendering. I will for a tiny bit now, just so you can see what's happening. So see how it's actually developing the image? Starting to become clearer. Now, what you can do, you can leave that and it shows that it's still loading, and I can show you how to actually bring these drawings onto your paper space. So currently at the moment, we are in the model space. So that means we're not working to scale. Okay, you're dictating the length and the height, the materials of your construction, but you're not actually doing it to scale. So what we're doing now, we'll use the layout book. Okay, lots going on here. We have different folders so that you can they're sort of set up for you already. So conceptual would be when you're actually just working through idea generation. District approval, that is working through planning and building permits, and then construction documentation would be for the builder. I usually just use this. It's a lot easier. Ground floor plan, already set up for you. First floor plan, there's a section for elevations and a section for sections. And then I'll probably just make my own for the 3D render. All right, ground floor plan. So, loading, loading, loading. If it comes up automatically, delete, because you want to fix it up and do it properly. All right, what you want to know is you want to know layout settings. So right click, layout settings. This tells me that it's an A1 piece of paper. The only thing, which is fine, the thing with A1 is that we obviously can't print it at school. A1 format you'll be able to print at professional printers, but just not at school. So I'm going to do A3 to start off with. Okay, alrighty. Cool. Now, as you'll see, everything's written on here, client name, project name, and I'll show you how to fill that in later. But at the moment, and this is a scale for us, so we can measure with our paper. So this is an A3 sheet of paper. I'll just check on the render for a tick. Yeah, it's starting to look cool. Okay, ground floor. So this is our ground floor. I'm going to hide this layer. Cool. So that it's just our floor plan that we want to see. Now what I do, I press Alt F7 and that grabs that drawing and brings back up the paper so that I can click and add my drawing. Now at the moment, obviously it doesn't fit onto the paper, so I click onto my drawing, I click the settings, and I've got to change the scale. Obviously 1 to 100 is a little bit big for this piece of paper, so 1 to 200 I will do. Yeah, cool. I click on the middle node and see how it automatically goes to drag. I'm going to drag it over. Now I have to place it properly on the paper so that I can make it fit, and then it prints and it's fine. So I click on the node of the outside, make sure that it's on adjust frame. I don't want it to be on stretch because stretch will make the drawing bigger or smaller. Okay, so I just want to make sure that I'm pasting it within the confines of the paper. Now it's telling me it's ground floor 1 to 200 and it's got my drawing. Okay, so now, you do all of these and you'd save them. Ground floor plan as a PDF. Save. Beautiful. And that would come up as a PDF. I might even bring it up so I can show you. Ground floor plan. So now that it's saved as a PDF, with the scale 1 to 200, set at a 1 to 200 scale, you would print that out, give it to a builder, boom, built. All right, I'll close that. Oops. Okay, another example. Let's just check how the render's going. Yeah, looking really good. Another example. So we've got that now. Now I would like first floor plan. And once again, it automatically comes up. Click on it, delete it. That's not what you want. Then I would go to my second floor. Okay, so this is what I want. Once again, I press Alt F7 and it brings me back to that paper I've just opened up. Click down. Looks pretty boring. And then make sure it's on adjusting the frame. Oh. Making sure that I'm adjusting the frame, I'm not changing the size. Cool. Basically that's just giving me a roof plan. Nearly done. Now same with the sections. So this will now be in the, I might close that, then open up sections. And that's an automatic, don't want to do that. I would just like this section here. Okay, Alt F7, place it onto the screen. You know, you could almost leave this scale the way that it is, but just trim the border. So click on the outside, bring it in, click on this outside, and bring it in. Now that tells me section at a 1 to 100 scale. Nice. I could even open up my other section, which was section 3. Cool. Alt F7, place. And you can see how all of the different drawings, you know, really give you an idea of the way that you've constructed the space. Bringing this in, it's telling me section 1 to 100. Now, both of them say section, so you know you might want to refine what that says. So you can click on the picture, click settings, and the way that we actually change the scale was here. We don't need to do that now. We go to identification. So drawing name. By name only, you can customize it. So you could say maybe east, west section. So then, oh, hopefully it does it. Yeah, here we go, east-west section. Okay, so you can customize all of that. You'd then save that again as a PDF. I'll just do this example. Check it, sections. I think I've been a bit harsh to my computer this morning. So it's just loading. All right, so you can sort of imagine now what this drawing would actually look like. So I'm going to just cut it off. But we've made it look like it's a real, you know, real life design, and that you could actually, you know, that you could actually construct it, and that's exactly what it would look like. And so what we want to do now is we will find 3D documents. Check on this, yeah, so that's what that looks like. So you can put your own logo in there, you can fill in everything. Okay, not sure what that is. Paper space, concept 3D, generic perspective. Okay, so this is going to do something for you. Obviously, that's not very helpful. Delete. Now let's pretend this is finished. Alt F7. It's not going to work because it's not finished. I'm just going to do copy. So Control C and paste. And now this is a drawing. So it's not, you know, you can't change anything on this anymore because you've actually made it look real. So you might even put, you know, 4 different renders or something. Once again, save it as a PDF and you'll be able to print that to scale. All right, so obviously the 3D is not quite to scale, but it is, it's pretty close. Okay, so this is how you do sections, elevations, floor plans, and 3D renders. Now it's really up to you to have a really good play, you know, in your 3D rendering settings in Document and Creative Imaging. Just make sure you have a bit of a play with, you know, different modes. There is some really quick sketch options, which I'll quickly show you. Get a different view. That can look like you've just, you know, done a little bit of a sketch. So settings. Sketch. And you can choose what you're sketching with. Tech pencil, pen and aqua, whatever. You can change the color. Okay, show 3D vectorial hatching, show vectorial sun shadows. Yeah, why not? Click. So that should work really quickly. This one should, hopefully. And that's a nice, easy way to show your client in a creative manner how the drawings are set up. And how your design will actually look on completion. So you could have one really detailed render looking really, really beautiful. You could have 5 of these quick, hopefully quick, sketchy renders. Seems to be battling a little bit at the moment. I might have bought. Here we go. So it would look something like this. So nice and sketchy. It would look better if I'd let it do the whole thing. But you can see how even that, you know, it's a creative image, can look really, really, really interesting alongside your other work.